It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to this special edition of Science Bowl. This is it, the finale of the elementary school competition. We started with 40 elementary schools. We're down to the final 2. This is the final. This is the championship game. Let's meet the teams. First, from Magnolia Elementary School, please welcome Chrissy Beecham, Madison Maragliano, and Cortez Logan. And from Northview Elementary, our players Isaiah Harrison, Carlos Regino, and Talon Hall. And now, here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, we will have a new champion and a school that has never won a championship before in our 24-year history. Congratulations to Magnolia and Northview for having made it this far in our competition. You guys are all wonderful. Let's make sure everything's working properly. Let's go to the red team. Madison, would you try your buzzer for me? Very good. And good luck to you, to Cortez and to Chrissy. And Carlos, would you try yours? Green button and light seem to be working. Good luck to you, to Talon and to Isaiah. Are we ready? All right, let's do this. May the better team win. We go alphabetically M before N. So Magnolia, let's play the Science Bowl. Magnolia, start us out.
Science Potpourri for 15.
Science Potpourri for 15 points. I'm starting out with a math question for you. Teams, if you multiply 6 times the number of planets and add the number 3, you will have the planet number that was the title of an animated movie recently. It was planet number what, Magnolia?
51.
51. 6 times 8 planets plus 3. You got it. Nice start. Go red.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, if you were planting a garden this summer, you would use a pH meter to test the acidity and the basicity. You would also use a salinity meter to measure the what? Magnolia.
The salt content. The salt content?
The salt content. Absolutely right, because you might have to adjust the soil, especially for the kinds of plants that you're going to be putting in. All right, you're off to a fast start. Where next? Red.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, the Food and Drug Administration says be careful of some of the spices in your cabinet. Pepper and paprika and basil could contain what S-initialed bacterium? Magnolia.
Salmonella.
Salmonella, absolutely right. That can cause a lot of gastric distress. Even if those spices have been in your cabinet for years, be cautious. Go red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, the arrangement of the planets around the sun in our solar system is very similar to the model of this devised by Ernest Rutherford to show the smallest particles of a chemical element. Northview. What do you think, gentlemen? That model was similar to?
Accelerator?
Not an accelerator. Magnolia, the model of the solar system with the planets going around the sun is very similar to another model devised by Ernest Rutherford about the smallest particles of a chemical element.
Atoms?
An atom, absolutely right. You know, the atom with the nucleus and the electrons going around, very similar in design. All right, nice try, Northview. You'll get them next time. Go red.
Zoo Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade, 20 points. Teams, a multiple choice question. Probably never thought about this, but grasses contain very hard little rocks called opals. So herbivores that eat grasses their whole lives have compensated. They have something called hypsodonty, which means they have, Magnolia. What do you want to say?
They can eat the rocks?
They can't eat the rocks. Northview, hypsodonty that herbivores have to fight back because the grasses contain these hard little opals. Do they have raspy tongues, very strong stomachs, or very long teeth?
Very strong stomachs.
Very long teeth. Hypsodonty. Donty was your clue there. Go red.
Body systems for 20?
Body systems, 20 points. Seems your question is as follows. If your nose is doing this, hemostasis is a complex process to get it to stop. Northview.
Sneezing?
Not sneezing. Nope. Magnolia. If your nose is doing this, hemostasis is the complex process to get it to stop.
Bleeding?
Bleeding is absolutely right. And we're laughing here because just before the program, Madison was having a little bit of a nosebleed problem over there. All right, go red.
Green things for 20?
Green things for 20 points. Teams, birds can be messy eaters. So if they go to a bird feeder, if some of the seed falls on the ground, don't worry, it won't do what? Because it's been heated beforehand. It will not do what? Magnolia.
Grow?
More specifically?
It won't germinate?
That's the word I want to hear. Yes, it will not germinate. It will not begin the process of becoming a full plant. Red.
Body systems for 25?
Body systems, 25 points. Teams, your question is as follows. When the famous Russian scientist Pavlov presented meat and rang bells for his dogs, they did the same thing that Homer Simpson does if you present him with a donut. What do they both do, Magnolia?
They salivate?
They salivate, absolutely right. Donut. And he salivates and he starts to slobber, just as Pavlov's dogs did. He trained them to actually do that at the sound of a bell because they associated it with meat. All right. Again, red.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical. 25, the big one in that category. Teams, the world's tallest buildings, like the Taipei Tower or the Burj Khalifa that is over 100 stories tall, they will not tip over during a high wind because of a counterbalance, a weight that hangs and swings back and forth. What do you call those weights that swing back and forth that are atop these very tall buildings? Northview, what do you call them?
Structures?
Structures, not structures. Good try. Madison, Magnolia, what would you call these weights that hang and swing back and forth that counterbalance the tops of tall buildings so they don't tip over during high winds? Pendulum. A pendulum is what we were looking for. Oh, the buzzer has rung. That means we've come to the end of the first round. It's been all Magnolia thus far, but don't count out Northview. They're a great team. Score, 180 for Magnolia, 50 for Northview. We'll be back with round 2 in a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. And indeed, if you've been here all season long, because we've had just tremendous competition, lots of wonderful students and outstanding schools here. They don't get any better than these 6 young people right over here. Let's find out about them. Magnolia, nice to see you guys in the finals today. Madison, you and your teammates wearing matching shirts over there. And Chrissy was modeling earlier. What's on the back of the shirt there, Chrissy?
It's a Mustang.
It's a Mustang, the mascot there at Magnolia, amid some beakers and some flasks back there. We just love them. Magnolia, your principal's here today, Madison. Who is she?
She's Miss Phyllis Gillens.
Wonderful. And the sponsor of your team?
Mr. Allen.
Mr. Allen, and he has been so devoted in coaching you guys all season long. I know how happy he is to have you in the finals. Any alternates on your panel?
Yes, we have Jordan, Kevin, and Asiatu.
Wonderful. And we'll bring them all out a little bit later with Mr. Allen and the principal so you can meet them. Madison, you want to be a stunt woman.
Yes.
You've told us that all season long. What got you interested in that? Dangerous profession.
Yeah, I just kind of like doing crazy things, and I kind of like, you know, like I won't remember doing something for a long time. But if we win today, it'll probably be just like that.
Well, obviously you've got the physical skills, you've got the mental skills too, because you're a tough competitor, and I love having you here. Cortez, we've talked earlier to you. You come up with so many great answers. You told me you got a gift of an encyclopedia years ago, and that changed everything.
Yeah, my cousin, she bought me an encyclopedia, and then I just started reading it, and I was just looking up some stuff, and I guess that's how I got interested, and then I started watching the Discovery Channel and stuff.
That's one. And this young man wants to go on and work for NASA someday. And of course, the encyclopedia is kind of pre-internet. Now everyone gets everything, they Google it. But if encyclopedias were all we used to have, and they're still wonderful resources. Keep up your good playing, Cortez. Chrissy, nice to have you here. Young lady who likes horses, loves Florida, wants to go to Florida State. You were born in Florida, weren't you? And moved up here to Greenbelt. She's a young beauty queen, Little Miss Greenbelt, and she's just got the poise and the smarts to make it all work. What do you want to do someday as a profession, Chrissy?
I want to be like a horse trainer and teacher for people who because when I get the feeling of being on a horse, it just feels so great, and I want people to understand how that feels and be able to manage a horse.
Yeah, and it's very therapeutic, too. I know a lot of times, people can get on a horse and it just changes the way they respond to other situations in life. Nice to have you back. Northview, always good to have you guys here in your matching lab coats over there. You look like young scientists already. This is how all young scientists should look. Carlos, where'd you get those jackets?
We got it from, I think it was American Home Medical, and they donated us for this when Mr. Moffat just told us about the lab coats. They gave it to us.
That's wonderful, and it's always very nice to see a business supporting young people doing good things like you are doing. Mr. Moffat and Miss Grove, they're both out there, the sponsors of the team cheering you on. Who's your principal?
Judith T. Bizzett.
And she's the what queen?
Reading Queen.
The Reading Queen of Prince George's County. How many books have you read, Carlos?
A lot. I can't count.
You can't count. Yeah, that's how many. And that is why you guys know so much. Reading equates to really successful lives, especially success here on Science Bowl. Someday, Carlos, paleontologist, right?
Or a doctor.
Or a doctor. You already look both parts there. Isaiah, paleontology as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you got interested in dinosaurs a long time ago. Do you have a favorite dinosaur?
My favorite dinosaur is Diplodocus.
Diplodocus, yes. Still the longest, right? Or is there one longer than that?
Semiosaurus.
Wow. And so you went for the herbivores, right? Yeah, not the velociraptors or the T-Rexes. We've all seen enough Jurassic Parks to know more species maybe than we need to know. The nightmarish stuff. Nice to have you with us today. Talon, what about you? When you get older, what would you like to do?
I would like to be a computer engineerist.
Wonderful. And you wanted to be on Science Bowl. I know you took the test and you qualified. Is being here what you expected it to be? Pretty much?
Yes.
Yeah? You're a nice, cool, calm guy over there, and I want you to keep up your good playing here in the second half. All right, Northview, you got to get some points on that board, right? Magnolia, keep up your good work. We head into the final session here. We head toward the championship. Good luck, guys. All right. Right now, Magnolia 180, Northview 50. Red, start us out. Madison.
Zoop Parade for 25, please.
Zoop Parade for 25 points. Team's the big one in that category. Teams recently, 600 feet beneath the Antarctic ice, they found a creature called an amphipod living down there where no light reaches. Amphipods are very much like shrimp, and they belong to what same subphylum? Northview. What do you think, young man?
Invertebrate?
Not invertebrates, good try. What same subphylum do these amphipods, these shrimp-like creatures, belong to? The same subphylum of the arthropods that include things like lobsters and shrimp. Yes?
Oh, crustacean?
Crustaceans, absolutely right. It is a form of crustacean. Nice comeback. Good. Go.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points. I love this question. In Borneo, a country in Southeast Asia, there are giant pitcher plants that people used to think captured small mammals. Turns out they didn't want the mammals, they want the mammals' poop, because the poop contains what very important nutrient that is needed by all plants. For 25 points, what is in that excrement?
I say methane.
Not methane, good try. What important plant nutrient is in that excrement that is in those pitcher plants?
Nitrogen.
You got that right. Nitrogen is in the poop. All right, you know your stuff. Go, Red.
Science Science potpourri for 25.
Science potpourri for 25 points. You're going to earn your 25 points this time, teams. You know, everybody talks about science fairs. Now they are STEM fairs. STEM is an acronym for science and what 3 other subjects? You got to get all 3. The STEM fair. All right, who's our spokesperson here? Chrissy.
Technology, engineering, and mathematics.
You got all of them absolutely right. The STEM subjects today: science, technology, engineering, and math. Go, Red.
Dateline science for 25.
Dateline for 25 points. All right, come on, Northview. Get this one. What famous scientist and artist developed the first contact lens and, Northview?
Da Vinci?
You got that right. The first contact lens and the first helicopter. Good answer. All right, get on a roll over there, Green.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Team's 2-part answer. Recently, they found a kind of lichens, a moss-like plant, and they named it for President Barack Obama. It's called Chlamydia obamae. All new creatures have 2-part scientific names. Those 2 parts are what names? A what and a what? Northview.
And the suffix?
Again?
Prefix and the suffix?
Not a prefix and a suffix. Good try. The first and second scientific names, they are known as the... Madison.
The genus and the phylum?
Good try. The genus and the species. The genus and the species. Nice try, both teams. No points. Go again, Green.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for?
20.
20 points, teams. Scientists now think that the plaque that builds up in the brain of people suffering from this personality-robbing disease, Northview?
Alzheimer's disease?
That's exactly right. That plaque we think now is there to keep out invading bacteria. Unfortunately, it interrupts the conductivity of neurons. Nice answer. Go, Green.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems, 15 points, teams. Because we human beings have been increasingly sedentary, we haven't moved a lot over the past 15,000 years, what body parts have begun to de-ossify? Magnolia.
Muscles?
Not muscles, good try. What body parts have begun to de-ossify because we humans have been so sedentary over the past 15,000 years?
Bones?
Bones, yes. Ossify, O-S-S is a prefix indicating bones. Nicely done. Green.
Super 8 for 15.
Super 8, 15 points. Teams, because these ungulates live near the North Pole, where the days can be very long or very short, they have no circadian rhythms or body clocks, which is okay because Santa Claus only comes calling once a year. Northview. Yes, sir.
Reindeer?
Reindeer, absolutely right. Rudolph and the rest of them. No body clocks so that they're not thrown off by the wild swings in day length at the North Pole. 255, 125. We got ourselves a game. Go Green.
Green things for 15.
Green things, 15 points, teams. The spinach in plastic bags at the supermarket, because it is kept under fluorescent lights, continues to perform this process. Magnolia.
It keeps growing?
No. What process keeps going inside those plastic bags because the spinach is underneath a fluorescent light?
Photosynthesis?
Exactly, photosynthesis. It keeps making food even though it is in the bag. It's got plenty of water in there. That's why you see it beat up on the inside of the plastic container. Green.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Multiple choice question. Teams, if you are shaping shrubbery, turning it into an animal or making it nice and neat like Edward Scissorhands did, are you practicing espalier, bonsai, or topiary? Northview.
Bonsai?
Not bonsai. No, sculpting shrubbery as Edward Scissorhands did. Is that bonsai? Is it espalier or is it topiary?
Topiary?
It is indeed topiary. Good comeback. Thank you, Cortez. Red.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Oh, the people at the National Zoo are so unhappy that the baby panda went back to China, but they're celebrating a new baby cephalopod with 8 arms. It was a baby what, Madison?
Octopus?
It's a baby octopus. Not all that cuddly. Nothing like a panda. Good answer. Red.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems, 10 points. Teams, what bodily fluid is normally associated with cooling, but also can take away excess excrement, and also can, if it appears on your palms, indicate that you are nervous? Northview.
Sweat.
Sweat, absolutely right. Some of you may have sweaty palms. Yes, Chrissy is demonstrating right now. All right, go green. You too, Carlos. Next, sir. Next question.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, Alpha Centauri is one of the closest stars to our sun, and yet it is still 4.4 of these units away. Magnolia.
Light years.
Light years away. You got it right. Good, go.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, one of the newest diet plans has the same name, is this temperature monitoring system that is closely related to Fahrenheit. Northview.
Celsius.
The Celsius diet plan. Yes, sir. Good, go.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Multiple choice question. Teams, the very strong earthquake that hit Chile recently was not the strongest one ever. The strongest one ever registered 9.5, 12.1, or 15.0 on the Richter scale. The strongest earthquake ever. Magnolia.
9.5.
Yes, ma'am, because the scale only goes up to 10, and it too occurred in Chile. Go red.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, the composer Ludwig van Beethoven, who was deaf, we think got that way because there was too much lead in his body. They found that because someone saved a lock of this from his head when he died.
Hair?
His hair. It's a new book called Beethoven's Hair. Go.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, Oprah Winfrey's television network is named for this gas, number 8 on the periodic table. Northview.
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Oprah's Oxygen network. She recently sold it to CNBC. Go green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, it is an urban myth that during a tornado, you should open all your windows to equalize the what? Magnolia.
Pressure.
Yes, ma'am, the pressure. Where next?
Body systems for 5.
Body assistance for 5 points. Teams, it hasn't happened to you often during this game, but if you have a science ball question and you almost can't get it out, it could be on the tip of your what? Magnolia. Your tongue is right. Where next?
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, unlike Ireland, the state of Maine does have these reptiles, but none of them are poisonous. Magnolia.
Snakes.
Snakes is right. Last question of the game. Green things for 5 points. Teams, Major League Baseball, when it holds spring training in Florida, names the league that it plays in for these very large citrus fruits. Magnolia.
Grapefruit.
The Grapefruit League is right, and that means our game is over. We have a new champion. It is Magnolia. We'll be back and crown them in just a moment. Don't you go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. What a game we had here today. What a way to finish our 24th season. A first-time ever champion, a school that has never made it to the finals before. Neither did the runner-up. This is bittersweet today. We have a trophy and a championship for one team, but the other team is just as talented. We are so proud of Northview. Let's have a hand for the Northview team today. Isaiah and Carlos and Talon, you had a remarkable year. And I want to see you guys back again. You already look like professionals with your jackets on over there, those lab coats. Say hello, too, to the alternates. Brandon. Wave to everybody, Brandon. And we also have Jacob. Mr. Simmons, the vice principal, is with us today. Mr. Moffitt, Mrs. Grove, thank you for all your work this day. And joining them is at-large school board member Donna Hathaway Beck. We are so happy to have you here today. Thank you for joining us. And Magnolia, what can I say? You've had a Cinderella year, haven't you? Christy and Madison and Cortez, congratulations. You are wonderful champions. And the alternates back as well, they are beaming as they should. Asiatu and Kevin. Mr. Allen and Ms. Gibbons, thank you so much for being here, the principal of the school. And we are honored today. He made a special trip to join us today, the superintendent of Prince George's County Public Schools, Dr. William Height, to present the trophy to the winning school. Dr. Height, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Dave, for having us. In a couple of weeks, we're going to all be excited about the winners of the Final Four. And today we've had the final version of the Elementary Science Bowl, and I'm pleased today to, first of all, acknowledge the tremendous performance of the Northview team. Congratulations, guys, and congratulations to the sponsors. But I'm here today to present the winning plaque, to Magnolia Elementary School, the winners of the 2010 Elementary School edition of the Science Bowl. Congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations to Magnolia. Thank you, Northview. Thank you all for joining us for our 24th season. We hope to see you again in September. I also want to take a moment to thank Chuck Wolf, who is my alter ego and makes this show work, Trish Cristofaro, our camera people, Rodney and Jerome, and all of the people associated, especially our team of judges over here for joining us all season long. Thank you for joining us the whole season. We hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.